Okay, so who pays taxes? Say that again. Everyone. Yeah, everybody pays taxes. Yep, that's right. We pay taxes. All right, so imagine how much money it takes to run your city, your state, your federal governments, okay, your police force, your space program, military defense, national security, health research, social programs, and other government programs. That's where all your tax dollars go, right? That's why everybody pays taxes. We can actually, all the things in the real world that kind of function, that you kind of take for granted, it all comes from you guys paying taxes. All right, so you guys will have to fill some stuff in today. I did not leave these uncovered for you. Sorry. So what are the different types of taxes? Because there are many different types. The first one is property taxes. They are collected based on the value of the property you own. So if you guys rent, if your parents rent a place or rent an apartment, you don't pay property taxes because you don't own any property. Now where me, I pay property taxes because I own my own home. I will tell you where you live varies very greatly how much you pay in property taxes. Yeah, like when we were looking for a house, because we lived in Findlay, so we were looking to move this way because I got the job here at Penna, and we were looking to move, and we started looking, like we knew like how much we could afford per month, like mortgage and all that stuff combined. And then we started originally looking at houses in Perrysburg. I could afford a house like this in Perrysburg because of property taxes, but we ended up buying a house in Waterville because then I could afford a house like this in Waterville because the property taxes are a lot less. So, yeah. So just so you know, when you get to the point, you guys, when you start looking to buy a house someday, where you buy that house, the taxes vary greatly. Perrysburg has very high taxes. Colton? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, so to keep that in mind when you buy a house someday. Look at the property taxes. All right, then there are sales taxes collected based on the value of the items you purchase. You guys pay sales tax all the time, don't you? Every time you go to the store. What is the tax rate? Let me know. 6 point what? 6 point, I don't even remember. It's usually between 6 and 7, depending on where you're at. Something like that. Forever growing up, it was always 6 cents on a dollar, right? 6%. But I know it's like 6 point, I think it's 6.75. You might be right. I'll have to look that up. I honestly don't know off the top of my head. All right, and then there are income taxes. Do you guys pay income taxes? If you have a job. If you don't have a job, you don't. Where is that going? It's collected based on the amount of taxable income you earn. And it is tax time right now, right? People are filing their taxes. I actually just filed mine yesterday. You got yours back already? I kind of drug my feet. It takes time. I do them myself, so it takes time, and I just never had the time. So I sat yesterday. My son had about 3 hours of homework. He's in second grade. I think it's ridiculous, by the way. So as he sat and did his homework at the table, I sat next to him so I could help him, and I did my taxes at the same time. So in this chapter, guys, I'm gonna teach you how to do your own taxes. Okay, so you can do your own. We'll look at doing them like the old school way, like paper, all the forms. I think honestly, it gives you a greater appreciation for them what it looks like if you do them online. How many of you have actually filed your own taxes? 2 of you? 3 of you? You do them every year by yourself? Good. Then this chapter should be a piece of cake for you, right? Do you do them online? TurboTax? Yeah, me too. That's what I use. It's so easy. It asks you all the questions. And I was like, hey, stupid, you forgot this part. Okay, I'll go back and change that. It is nice. All right, so who collects the taxes from you? Which part of the government? The IRS. The Internal Revenue Service. Revenue is money, right? You like the cartoon? That is wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. There you go. There you go. Let me know what it says. All right, so filing status. So a description of your marital and family status on the last day of the year. So you guys filing taxes now, right? You're filing 2017. So it would be based on December 31st. Were you single? Were you married or whatever like that? It's based on the last day of the year. Like my son, like I told you, he's in second grade, sitting beside me yesterday. He kept looking up to see what I was doing and trying to read it real quick as I'm like clicking through all the stuff. And he's like, why does that say 2017? It's not 2017, Mommy. Like in his mind, he didn't recognize. I'm like, well, this is taxes from last year. Like trying to explain to him, like, I know we're in 2018, but we filed taxes for like the whole previous year. So you have some choices though when you file. You can file, which most of you, oh, sorry, did I move that too fast for you? Sorry. Single, I'm assuming all of you in here would file single, right? Nobody's married. There is a teacher who told me she has 2 married students in one of her classes right now. So, I gotta watch what I say. So, single, which means you are an unmarried taxpayer. That is weird. It's weird. Not here, it's not. Married filing jointly. Guys, notice there's 2 options here. You can do married filing jointly and married filing separately. For my husband and I, it works to our advantage that we marry filing jointly. So we file one tax return together. They do it separately? That's not necessarily true. Like my neighbors, they make a whole crap ton of money, and for them, they are married filing separately because they make too much money. They actually will get better returns if they file them separate because they make too much money. I don't really have that problem. My husband and I are both teachers, so. Perrysburg. He's technically hired through the ESC of Lake Erie West, the Educational Service Center. He teaches at Perrysburg Tuesday through Friday, and he's at Maumee on Mondays. He teaches adapted phys ed, so gym class for special needs kids. He has patience. I have sarcasm. It works out. That's why I teach high school. Yeah, I have no patience. None. If you've had me, this is your second time through with me, you know I don't have patience. I'm sarcastic. All right, and then you could do head of household. It's an unmarried taxpayer who supports additional people. Okay, so if you support, maybe you have like one of your siblings lives with you, or an aunt or an uncle that you're taking care of, and you support them, then you could file as head of household. And I love the little Snoopy cartoon down there. Dear IRS, I'm writing to you to cancel my subscription. Please remove my name from your mailing list. Right? I don't want to pay taxes anymore. Please. All right. So you guys would file as single. Anybody still writing? Okay. All right. So your annual tax changes as your blank changes. Yeah, as your income changes. As your annual income changes. So depending on how much you make is how much they change on the taxes. So to find the tax on your taxable income, use a tax table or a tax schedule. The giant book I gave you. All right, let's take a look at that real quick. So if you look at your giant thick packet, do not lose this. I killed a lot of trees for you. Do not lose this. So as you flip through here, you see crazy tables, right? I want you to just take a look. I don't care which one you look at. I just want you to kind of see what's going on in here, though. So they go in $1,000 increments for how much money that you make, starting at $1,000. If you guys didn't work a whole lot, you got to think that's probably like 16-year-olds who don't make a lot of money, right? But look at the top. I want you to kind of see the headings so we can see how this works. So they have your income is at least but less than. So they kind of give you, like, if you fall between this and this range, and they break them down by $50 increments. So you'd have to look and see where your income falls. And then it says, and you are single, married filing jointly, married filing separately, or head of household. And then it would give you how much your tax is. So you'd have to look in the right column. So looking at this, how high do these tables go up to? Look for your booklet. How high? Yeah, they go all the way up to 99,000. So if you make 100,000 or more, your income does not show up in here for your taxes. So then, if you flip to the next page, after the 99,000, that's not you guys. All right, so if you look on here then, there's different worksheets. They're what's called worksheets, I think you're looking through these. So if you make over 100,000, if you look at this one, it says right on here, at least 100,000, but not over 191, like, and there's like, it breaks it down. So if you make less than 100,000, you can use the little tables in there, which we'll deal with a lot, and then we'll also look at how to use this if you make over 100,000. So we can calculate how much your taxes are. Okay, so but I did give you the most current tax stuff so you can kind of have an idea what the current numbers are. All right, so Ron is single. He is using an IRS tax form and calculates that his taxable income is $51,482. The instructions tell him to use the tax table to determine his taxes. And I just gave you, like, as for notes today, I gave you like the little snippet. So don't look at your tax booklet because it's going to be different because these are older numbers on these examples. All right, so how much does Ron owe in taxes? Okay, so Ron is single, and his taxable income is $51,482. So you would have to look here, see how he's in between the $51,450 and $51,500, right? You have to look and see kind of where is the span that his number falls in. And it says Ron is single. Right? So you would look at single, and kind of look over here. So how much tax does Ron pay? He's $9,213. Okay, so you have to look, kind of get used to looking at those tax tables. So you find where your income falls in the range, and then go over to whatever column it needs to be. So 1B, determine the tax for each of the filing status taxable income amounts listed. So if you're head of household making $51,779, so come over to the table. So we have to look 51,779. It's going to fall right in here, right? And then I have to go over to head of household, which is the last column. So it'd be $8,006. Does that make sense? Okay, we're just getting some practice looking and using those tax tables. All right, what if you are married filing jointly? $51,223. So I first have to look in here where that would fall. And then if I'm married filing jointly, it should be $6,881. So questions on looking at the table? Okay, that. 1C, express the tax table line that would be used in compound inequality notation. That sounds fancy, doesn't it? For a taxable income of $51,777. So the $51,777 would fall in, I had already circled that one, right? So all it wants you to do is write this in between here. So it goes from 51,750 less than or equal to X less than or equal to 51,800. Bring back your algebra days. All that means is it's just showing the taxable income is in between that range. It's always less than or equal to. Always an X in between, okay? So if you're reading inequality, it's not how comfortable you guys are, right? That means your income is less than 51,800. If you read it this way, it would be X is greater than 51,750. Right? Because 51,777 falls in between those two numbers. Jared. Oh, yeah, yeah. You're right. Thank you. Sorry. Yes. Thank you. That's a less than, by the way, not greater than. But yes, thank you. Thank you for that catch. Because it can't equal that, because that would fall on the next line. Thank you. All right, so if I ask for compound inequality notation, that sounds fancy. Just wants the X in between there, okay? And it's a less than sign. All right, so this is still a continuation, 1D. Given the filing status and the tax, identify the taxable income interval that was used to determine that tax. Okay, so this is where a lot of students get themselves in trouble because they're like, oh, 9,275 single, so they go to like the 9,000s in their table and they look at that. No, no, no. This is the tax. That means it's the numbers from over here, the tax is listed. So if I'm single, so look in the single column and I'm looking for 9,275, there it is. So that means it's falling here. So what is its income level? It's right there, 51,700 less than or equal to X, less than 51,750. Okay, so be careful. There'll be times I'm going to give you questions like that, where sometimes I'll say, here's their income, tell me their tax, or here's the tax, what income level did they fall in? So you got to be careful which part I'm giving you. So then how about head of household, 8,019? So we go to head of household, and we're going to look for 8,019. There it is, which means it's here. So 51,800 less than or equal to X, less than 51,850. Woohoo! How are we doing so far? Can we look at a table and pull some numbers out of it? Yeah? Awesome. All right, so example 2. What happens when we're making over 100,000? You got to figure it out, right? It's that last page where there's going to be a little more algebra involved here. It'll be okay. So Maria and Don are married taxpayers filing a joint return. Their combined taxable income is $153,900. The IRS offers a tax schedule so that taxpayers can calculate their tax. Use the tax schedule below for married taxpayers filing jointly to calculate Maria and Don's tax. So if you look on, like if you looked in your tax booklet, there were a couple different like rectangles on there, right? And each one was based on how you were actually filing. So there was one if you were single, one if you're married, filing jointly, filing separately, or there's one for head of household. Okay, so we need to look at, they make 153,900. So it says if your taxable income is over this value but not over this. So where do they fall? Yeah, they're falling right in here, right? Okay, so it tries to help you out and tell you how to do this, right? So this is where they're falling. So it says the tax is, and it's telling you what to do. So grab your calculator. All right, so I'm going to actually just type this in what it says. So $25,550 plus, it says 28%, so that would be 0.28. Hold on, don't hit enter after that yet, because it says that of the amount over this. So if I kind of write out what's going on here, we're going to have to do 25,550 plus 28%, and it says of the amount over this. So I have to subtract this. So I got to do the 153,900 minus the 131,450. Okay, because it's the amount over that, so I got to subtract them to find the difference. So can you just type that whole thing in at one shot in your calculator? Yeah, you sure can. So what's their tax? $31,836. Holy smokes, $31,000 in taxes? Yeah. A lot of nonsense? It's not nonsense. We'll have to agree to disagree on that. I don't know, you tell me. That didn't seem that tedious to me. I just typed in a couple numbers. You and I have very different descriptions on what you think is tedious and stupid. So I'm just gonna walk away from that question. Okay. All right. 2A. For what taxable income would a taxpayer have to pay $9,792.25? Is there a little algebra in there, you think? Yeah, there is a little algebra in here. It's okay. Let's kind of talk through this, okay? So for what taxable income would a taxpayer have to pay over $9,000 in taxes? Now, this is one, guys, I need all eyes up here to pay attention to this one, okay? So this is the taxes, right? This is tax. So let's look at my tax table. So look at their tax amounts, right? Because it says the tax is, which column is this going to fall under? Which row? Yeah, this third one, right? Because this is too much. That's $25,000. 8,900, that's closer to that one. So when we're looking at this, this is going to fall underneath this row. These are the numbers we're working with. So their income's falling in between here. All right, so let's kind of set this up the same way we just set up that last one. All right, but let's kind of set this up as an equation, right? So it says we're going to have $8,962.50 plus, it says 25%, so 0.25. All right, do I know what the income is? I don't know. That's my X minus the 65,100, the same way we set up that one, right? What should all of this equal? Do I know the tax now? I have the tax. They gave me that number. $9,792.25. So I'm doing the same process, but I have to kind of look at a little differently which line I'm looking at and have to do a little bit of algebra here. So what should you do first? Let's distribute. So we're going to have 0.25x. Distribute to the other part. So 0.25 times 65,100. So 16,275. So Michael, my guess is you're going to think this is terribly tedious. All right, you got some like terms? All right, we got some like terms we can clean up. So I have 0.25x minus 7312.50. A lot of big numbers, which makes it awkward. What should we do next then? Going to add this to that side. Again, I'm kind of writing out every step. I'm betting as you get more comfortable with this, you won't write out all these steps. Or any of it, like some of you. And then divide. So $68,419. So is that how much they're paying in taxes? That's how much they're making. Yeah, they're making $68,419. Now that you know that that's what their income is it possible you could have looked in the tax table charts? Yeah, because the tax table charts, those are going to work for you in up to 100,000. But did we know if he was single, filing jointly, separately, head of household? No, I didn't know. It'd be a heck of a search. And honestly, once you get more comfortable, that's really not bad. It's just a little bit of algebra going on in there. It took longer to write out the numbers than to actually do the math. All right, so again, you have to be careful. Are they giving you, here's the income, find the tax, or are they saying, here's the tax, find the income? All right, you got to be careful which side of that they're giving you. All right, so example 3. The IRS includes the tax schedule for information purposes only. For taxable incomes over $100,000, taxpayers must use the tax worksheet. Here's a portion of the worksheet for married taxpayers filing jointly. Calculate Maria and Don's tax using this worksheet. So, do we already know Maria and Don? Look at the last example. Do you know Maria and Don? Yes, we know them. But we know how much money they're making, right? All right, so we're supposed to use, here's the actual tax worksheet. Government thinks they're very helpful and they give you all these worksheets and whatnot. Let's be honest, in the real world, we do everything online anymore, right? TurboTax is a wonderful website. But I think there's a little, it's nice to kind of go through and look at this from the other side of it, like before TurboTax existed. Me personally, last semester was the first time I taught this chapter, first time I taught this class. My eyes were opened a lot. I've gone through, I paid my taxes every year. I always do it online, whatever, I answer all the questions. But going through and learning this side of it more and like teaching the like paper form and all of that made doing it online make more sense to me. Right? I knew more of like what to look for, how to get deductions, how to get more money back. Like I learned more of that stuff. All right, so here we go. So use if your filing status is married filing jointly. Were they married filing jointly? What was their income? $153,900? Okay. So where do they go? Is that going? Yep. So enter the amount from line 43, which was their actual amount. So 153,900, you said? Okay. Multiplication amount times 28%, 0.28. They actually tell you what to do there. So, okay, multiply by 0.28. So 43,092. And then it says subtraction amount. What do you think I should do with that? Subtract it, 11,256. And we get $31,836. Yeah. See, the government's very helpful. Yeah, we'll go with it. They're very helpful. It does. I mean, it really does. Like, I love it. Times 28%. 0.28, in case you don't know that. All right. So again, just another worksheet like the government. If you're doing things by paper, this is one of the worksheets you would have to fill out. Okay. All right, last one. Davida and John, Davida, that's a cool name, have a taxable income of $118,675. Use the married. It says filling jointly. That came straight from the textbook. I should say filing. You guys catch that? That says filling, not filing. That was screen captured right from your actual textbook. That's a lovely spelling error. To determine the amounts for columns A and C, what is their calculated tax? So, similar again, 118,675. So what line do they fall under? First, second, third, fourth? The first. 118,000 is in between here. So 118,675. And they tell you to multiply by 25%. Wait. What? Yeah, because really they're making roughly 60,000, just under 60,000. Yeah, which really is not that much money. I mean, it's good money, but it's not like they're rich. Yeah, so they're not like rich. All right, so multiply that by 0.25. So 29,668.75. And they tell you to subtract 73,1250. So their tax would be $22,356.25. I don't know about you guys, but can you imagine if they didn't take your tax out, like out of every paycheck? Yeah, but think about it. They come back at the end of the year and say, hey, you owe me taxes now. You owe me $22,356. Can you imagine that, though? Like, I can't imagine that. Like, can I write you a check? Can it be rubber? Because it's going to bounce. I don't think well, I guess it depends what your business is. If you work for like a regular business, no, they're going to automatically take taxes. But like if you own your own business, Right. Like my brother's a photographer. He does his taxes at the end of the year. So like every time he gets paid, he takes a percentage of what he gets paid and puts it in an account for taxes. Because he knows he's going to have to pay at the end. So yeah, that's how they always work it.